Hi, my name's Trevor from GHD-repair.co.uk, and we're going to have a quick look at the thermal fuse, some of the reasons it fails, and just a couple of tips on fitting a replacement. Now, the original thermal fuse is this one here, and the replacement that we sell is this one here. It is slightly physically bigger, and depending on the model of GHDs you've got, there is a tiny modification that you will need to make to the backing plate, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. Now, if you've got older model GHDs, 3.1, something like that, you'll probably find that the thermal fuse has failed for no reason other than fatigue. It's obviously been fitted for a number of years, and they can just fail for no particular reason. The original is rated at 212 degrees, and our replacement that we sell is rated at 240 degrees. That slight increase in temperature will stop the premature failure happening in the older irons. Now, on the newer models, 4.0, 4.1 and 4.2, they're generally, not always, but there's generally a reason for the thermal fuse to fail, and we'll just cover the two most popular reasons that the thermal fuse has failed. The heat is controlled by a thermistor, which is the little black device you can see here, and the little circular black device in this one. And they're bonded to the heating element, the white ceramic bit behind it. And as these warm up, the thermistor senses the temperature change, and the circuit board adjusts the temperature accordingly. Now, if this thermistor has become detached, certainly on this model, or is faulty in some way, the heat can just keep being applied, and eventually the thermal fuse will fail. Especially in this type, if that's become detached, it cannot sense the temperature correctly, and the irons will just keep on heating up. It's obviously trying to attain its working temperature, which is 180 to 190 degrees, and if it doesn't think it's at that temperature, it will just keep on heating. It'll overheat and the thermal fuse will blow. The other reason the thermal fuse will blow is if this heating element itself has failed. You'll find that only one arm heats up, and that's the arm with the thermal fuse in. This arm will stay cold, so the thermistor is not giving any temperature feedback to the circuit board, and it will just keep heating up until the thermal fuse fails. So if you've got newer models, do check the thermistor is attached correctly, and that both heating elements in your arms are correct. Now, there's a number of different designs for the thermal fuse. The easiest one to change is this one here, because all you need to do to take them apart is pop a small flat bladed screwdriver, jeweler's type screwdriver, under this clip and pop it off each end. The ceramic plate holder then just lifts off, and you can easily then replace the thermal fuse. So that's the easiest type to replace. The next type is this, very similar to the first type I've just shown you, but to get these apart you have to slide the backing plate off of the ceramic plate, and it's quite hard to do, and the easiest way to remove this particular one is just get a pair of side cutters, snip the wires at the end of the thermal fuse, pull the wires out that you've just cut, grab the thermal fuse with pliers or the side cutters and just lift it up and pull it out. And then obviously to replace it, you would feed the new wires in and through the silicone that's in the end, and then pull back and slide the thermal fuse into the clip. Don't put any excessive tension on this clip because that will break. Okay, but that's the easiest way to replace the thermal fuse in that particular style. The hardest to get apart are these, and the one that I've got down here that I've already taken apart and modified to show you. These ones you do have to slide the mounting plate at the back in one direction and slide the ceramic plate the other way, and you'll find it really quite hard, and you need to push the clip along and move the plate along, and do this in a in a number of steps, and eventually you will find that you will get them apart, but you do have to be careful and do it in stages to avoid breaking anything. Okay, and then that is apart. Now, because the thermal fuse we're selling is slightly bigger than the original, you do need to slightly enlarge this hole, and all you need to do is take a small flat file and just carefully file out about 3 or 4 millimeters from this end. This material is readily fileable, so it's not a problem. If you don't take enough of the material out, you will find it very hard to reassemble all the parts. So do make sure it's 3 or 4 mil. So that's the size of the original, and then you can see I've just enlarged that one a bit. And then to reassemble with the new thermal fuse, you will need to just hold the fuse in the backing plate like that, feed the wires both sides of the little piece there, and slide them together. Make sure the fuse is above the heating element, and at that stage you just need to pop the spring clip back into place, and it pushes through and comes down on top of the thermal fuse, and then you just need to start sliding carefully along. And again, this can be really tricky and you have to do it in stages. It's especially tricky if you have not removed enough of the backing plate. So if you're really struggling with this, take them apart again and remove some more material, and now you can just slide this back like that until it's nicely aligned like so, and that's it. Then that can go back into the irons. You'll find the thermal fuse leads are a little bit longer, and all you need to do is, once it's back in the arm, just fold them over a little bit, like that, and neaten them all up, and that's all you need to do. Okay, so just to say, just bear in mind the possible reasons for the failure of the fuse. In the older ones it may have just failed on its own, but the newer ones, generally there is a reason. As I said, check the thermistors and check the ceramic elements are okay. There's 2 types fitted. You're going to get a reading of, if you take these out, you'll get a reading of either 70 or 160. If you're using a meter to measure them when they're actually attached to the circuit board, you'll get a reading of around 35 or 80 ohms. So hope that was useful, and any problems, give us a call on the through the email, or give me a call on the phone. Our numbers are on the website, and thanks very much.